I got these at the Minus cake shop. Look at how high tech this bottle is. You put your cake in here and the drink in here, but like it's screwed in. It's so cool. And it's like, you got your little drinky hole. And it's like really thick, and it says that it can hold temperatures up to 120 degrees Celsius, which is really hot. I kind of wish that the round part had like a little pop top instead of the sticker, because the sticker just fell off. You could put your milk in here, in your cereal, or vice versa, or like your yogurt and fruit, and then the granola in the top. Like, there's so many interesting, cool little like lunchtime things you could use a container like this for. So I'm just like, I kind of don't want to throw it away, but I'm never going to use it. But look at it. It's glorious. I don't think that's quite right. It's October 1st, and I didn't think to put on Patreon rewards in my list of things to do today, so I'm kind of just trying to do that up real quick. It's a sketch of the Even Star, or whatever. This month's theme was fan art, so most of my sketches that are going out, I rip them out of my sketchbooks and then I mail them out. And I usually write something on the back. I think I'm out of ink. I wanted to go out and see if I can find some reclaimed or some kind of like vintage maybe like frame. So I was like, I should put this in the mailbox on the way out, but I'm thinking like the mail gets picked up at 3 and it's 2:30, so I don't think I'm actually gonna make it. So I don't know if it's better sometimes to just hold on to things over the weekend, or just sometimes I do just like to hold on to it in case something comes up. I wonder if I can just use this paintbrush. If you want to get nice like little edges. Let's see. Just a little bit of an interesting edge on it. I don't know. What's awesome is that the weekend market opened up last weekend with restrictions. The first day was technically Thanksgiving Sunday, so I didn't think anyone was going to be there, but I thought that was kind of perfect because then I get to refresh my process without having to worry about being a lot of people. Not that that was a thing before. You see, it's a flea market, so it's not really that easy of a crowd. I mostly just think of it as a art studio with foot traffic. That doesn't cost very much to rent. There was like nobody there practically. There was like half the vendors that there used to be, and I really hope everyone's okay. But it was really fun to see everyone again. I don't know, I never expected to think that I would miss talking to people, strangers, about stuff. Although TransLink did me real dirty. I woke up to catch an early 5:30 a.m. bus. I was there on time, and my bus doesn't even show up. And I didn't panic because I was taking an earlier bus, the second bus that did show up, but it arrived 4 minutes late. And so I missed my second connection, and it was there, and I ran to the bus and it pulled out right in front of me. So I was stuck at station number 3 for an entire hour in this freezing cold wind tunnel before dawn. And the worst part is that there is a single direct bus that I could have taken. If I had just slept in and taken that bus, I would have actually arrived 4 minutes earlier than I did the first day. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. Well, today's flea market did not go very well because it was raining and nobody wanted to be there. But I'm a little bit in the hole because I bought a plant. I'm nervous. I'm sure because of the trauma of trying to get it home and stuff. Maybe these buds won't even survive. Maybe they'll fall off. It's in moss, which makes me a little nervous. I'm definitely an overwatery type person. Help me, anybody. This thing is still alive. I don't know what is keeping it alive. The tiny little cactuses have rooted. The other one is stretching out, so I might have to cut him too. And these green onions, I literally replanted them from the grocery store last week, and this happened. This is just a regular fluorescent lamp. They love it. Look at this thing. I forgot that I did a ETC thing with Valerie. So these are the cards that came back in the mail. Look at this texture, it's very cool. We got a bunny. Okay. I think that is excellent timing. I really love this style of art. I love collage a lot, actually. So we have more original art cards in collection. We also do a back and forth art journal-y little thing, and I guess I'll do the back cover. I just kind of try to match whatever we're doing. So yeah, it looks like this. Today I have to drop off a painting for adjudication. I'm very happy to go back to the weekend market. I did take someone's advice for getting a sticker made. I'd love to get more. Like, I would love to do an official frog one just because people seem to like the frog one. I think stickers and small price items are very like impulse buy. Online Etsy stores and stuff is a lot harder because people have time to think about it. They have time to put it in the cart and then they forget. Yeah, the only downside is that Sundays were, for this past couple of years, my day to do most like Patreon stuff. That was my sit down all day desk day. I did get a new phone because mine was just not working. Phones are huge now. Look at you. Can't find a case for it because it's a Moto Power. It's just kind of sitting around. I did try doing a TikTok using the most popular music because I hear that that makes a difference, but I haven't noticed a difference at all. Got my tiny paintings ready to go to the gallery in another city. The square ones, little square ones. Haven't seen them yet, but I'll get to it. Anyway, so I got the Kickstarter thing, the Heareth Kickstarter, and I didn't realize that as part of the compensation, I was going to get some copies already, so that's fun. Well, at least I feel like I contributed to Kickstarter in 2 different ways. I really don't know exactly what I'm going to do with these, but this is a booklet. It comes with this cute pin thing. Very nice. A bookmark with some nice art. I mean, they all have nice art. Here's a book plate for labeling stuff. I'll probably put this in a sketchbook I like or something. And some prints. Being part of this project was technically somewhat life-altering. We all followed each other on Twitter, and it was nice to see people at their most determined and most optimistic. I think that I took a lot of energy from a lot of the artists that were in this project, seeing their small successes. What's interesting is that this project started in 2019, and the theme of the project was home and what it means to you. And what's wild about that is because 2019, home would have had a much different feeling, a much different connotation than it did in 2020. I think they originally launched this Kickstarter in 2020 and it failed the first time, if I remember correctly, because so much was up in the air about life and future and what was going to happen. And when they launched the Kickstarter a second time, I don't remember when it was because this past couple of years have been a total blur, a total nothing. I also felt really out of place in this because everyone is, you know, younger, everyone has different tastes. Oh, a lot of this is digital, but also just, I don't do character work. I don't know, maybe my style is just a little too old school, I don't know, but I did my grandparents' house just because when I went to the old house, the old city, that was when I actually felt like I was home somewhere, which is really silly, but I really felt like I had come home when I was in that arid Okanagan environment, so that was just kind of the first thing that came to my mind. And I think that you really only realize that when you're away from somewhere for a long time. Like, I don't feel particularly at home or connected to where I am now in any kind of way, but also I don't really leave my home city ever. So I feel like that's just one of those things that you have to be away from to really realize how it feels to you. Like my original childhood homes or anything like that, I don't have sentimental feelings about it or anything, but yeah, this is beautiful. I feel like opportunities for projects like this come so rarely, you know, because usually sometimes it's fanzines for things that I'm not a fan of, and people just make them so that they can get the product rather than making like a piece of art, like where the artists are like fairly compensated and stuff. I feel like I really lucked out, and if you can find a project like this to be part of, apply, because even if you're like me and you don't fit in anywhere, sometimes you get a break and it's a really nice life-altering experience for the better.